Hey, what's up everyone? So today we're going to be checking out the Alpha A85S from Hulkman, and this thing is an awesome little jump starter, a lithium jump starter pack that we're going to be putting through the test today, trying it in some different scenarios. Now they did send me this for free to test and review. It is currently not available on Amazon, but it is available on a Kickstarter program through Kickstarter. So if you guys are interested in checking it out, I'll put links to that below. If it does become available on Amazon after the item goes into production and starts shipping, then I will put links to this product on Amazon as well. Now, I've had this thing for a few weeks now, have been putting it through a lot of different tests as far as charging different things and recharging it, but I have not tested it out yet as far as jump starting a car. So we're gonna go ahead and test it with many different situations today. First, I'm gonna show you guys what this thing comes with. Now, this is a nice package that it comes in. It can be stored in this package. It is a little bit disappointing that they do not include a bag to put all this in. It would have been nice if they would have had a nice little case. But it does have a nice package that everything is stored in nicely. So you get your lithium jump pack there, you get your user manual, and then all the other accessories are packaged nicely in the bottom of this box, which include the connectors to jumpstart your vehicle. They have ADOG wires, which is nice, and comes with a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug that you could plug 12-volt accessories in, up to 15 volts, 10 amps. So this will produce 10 amps of power at 150 watts. Now this is one thing that really separates this apart from many other jump packs, is the charging system of this thing. Now I've been, like I said, testing this for a few weeks now and charged it once or twice already. And this is a super fast 65 watt charger, which charges this thing in just over an hour. Now this is a 20,000 milliamp hour battery in this thing, and the charge rate on this thing is amazing. Now they do market this thing to be able to recharge enough in 5 minutes to be able to jumpstart your car, and I did a few tests with this thing, and when I recharged it, I took it down to 10% battery life. The first 10 minutes it gained 24% of charge back, so it went from 10 to 34% in 10 minutes. In 20 minutes it went from 34 to 46%, 30 minutes it went from 46 to 57%, and so on. I did tests all the way up, and it took 64 minutes to charge to 100% and 68 minutes to where it was completely done and it shut off by itself. So this right here basically is the recharge rate that I got from this thing, and that is really amazing, because some of the other smaller packs that I have takes multiple hours to recharge. So that's one really nice feature that I'm really excited about this jump pack. And the last thing that it comes with is a USB-C to USB-A. So you can use this to recharge your USB-C phones, or you can plug the USB-C in and use it to recharge anything that is USB-A type. So the quality of all these cables are really good. And another nice thing about this thing is it has two nice LED lights, which I'll show you here when it gets dark. And this thing really has some nice features built in it as well. It has a safety feature where you cannot touch the clamps together. It will not produce a spark. It doesn't provide power to these until it senses that it needs power. Another thing that really sets this thing off versus other ones is the 3.3 inch LCD screen that you guys can see here, that shows you your battery level and what's going on at all times, which is a really nice feature because you always know what charge level your jump pack is without having to guess by little LED lights or anything like that. So let's go ahead and get into some of these tests and see what I think about some of these things. All right guys, so we're really gonna put this thing to the test. I have an 89 Mustang GT here that I've had in my garage. I had plans on redoing it, but I'm just gonna probably be selling it here shortly. Now this thing has not been started in about probably 10 years, and I'm not exaggerating that either. You can see all the junk piled up around it and everything. This is a 5-liter motor. This thing's supposed to start an 8.5 liter gas engine. The battery in this thing is completely dead. I mean 100%. I think I tested it at about one volt here a little bit ago. I'll show you guys, but I'm gonna show you guys how easy this thing is to hook up, some of the features of it that's pretty nice, and see if this thing will crank it over. Now, I did disconnect the distributor wire because I don't really want this thing to start because it's been sitting so long. I probably need to drain the gas and everything, but I am gonna see if it will crank it over and give it a test. So I'm hoping it doesn't damage anything. I don't think it will, but I've never really did a test like this before with one of these to this extent, so we're gonna go ahead and see how it works. Now, the first thing I wanna show you guys is the voltage that is in this battery now. The voltage is at 0.6 volts. So pretty much completely 100% dead. And I'm going to go ahead and hook this thing up, and I'm going to show you guys a few features about this thing. So you just plug your wires right into the side here, and what's nice is these are some pretty heavy duty 8-AUG wires, so they are pretty decently thick. Now normally if your battery has a sufficient charge in it, normally when you hook this up, this will, and I'll show you guys here later, this will come on automatically and go ahead and put it into jump start state, and it'll say ready there. But however, being that this battery is so dead, it's not even recognizing the battery to kick it on. So you push this button to hold this down and turn it on. You can see we're at 100%. Now this is not giving any power at all to the battery at this point. Normally, like I said, it would kick on automatically, it would say ready there, but you could see here 0.4 volts now, 0.3 volts. So 0.3 volts on the battery, DC, and it's not giving it enough current to kick on. So basically what you do to force power to this battery is you want to hold down both of these buttons for a few seconds, and then that will force this to kick on and give these currents. So these clamps do not have current until it recognizes the battery and gives it power. So you could touch these all day long. You're not going to get sparked or shocked until, well, not until, you're not going to get shocked. You hook it up to their battery and it automatically senses, and then that's when it kicks power on. So that's a nice safety feature by this Hulkman here, and we're going to go ahead and kick it on, and I hope everything goes good because this battery is pretty bad. And I have an alarm system hooked up. I have the horn or the speaker shut off so it doesn't annoy you, but the batteries are dead in the remote, so I have to shut it off a different way for it to even try to start. So there you go, see my alarm's going off, and I held these down so now they have power. Now we're reading 16.27 volts, so it has power to the battery, and we're going to go ahead and try to start it. Now I've never tried this clamp meter out for amps, but we're going to try it on here and see if it even reads any amps when I try to start this. And you can see that it's draining already because the battery's so dead. I'm going to go ahead in here and try to shut the alarm off. There you go, so I'm not getting any power right now. It may need, let's see here. Alright, so I must have waited too long. Let's go ahead and hit this again for it to say ready. Alright, now I'm going to hurry up and shut my alarm off. Like I said, this is my first test with this. I wasn't sure how this was going to go. Alright, got the alarm off. I can hear the fuel pump kick in. Now I'm going to go ahead and try to give it a start it up. Oh yeah. Cranks it over no problem. Wow. Alright, and now I don't have anything again because I don't know if it goes by, it's at 90% now, so I don't know if it goes by time or goes by how much it's drawn before the ready light kicks off. But basically all I got to do is hit that again, and now normally, like I said, if you have some kind of current in your battery, you won't have to worry about hitting these buttons. I'm going to go ahead and hit them again and try to start it one more time. And this time we're going to try to look at the amps on here. This is a DC amp meter. I don't know how accurate that is or even if that's going to be any help for you guys, but it only goes up to 400 amps, and this thing is supposed to produce, I believe, 2000 amps, cranking amps. So let's try this again. Have to shut the alarm off again, and we're going to see how long it cranks this time before it kicks off. All right, here we go. And I actually stopped at that time. I know I said I was gonna let it crank until it shut off, but like I said, see, it's still ready. So we'll see if it actually shuts off here. This battery's so dead that it is draining that. Yeah, there you go. Well, it shut off, and then there may be somewhat, almost enough juice in the battery now to actually activate it, but pretty sure the battery being so bad is draining that. But yeah, I'm definitely surprised of how well this cranked this 5.0 engine over. Like I said, it's been sitting for 10 years without trying to start it, and that's really no exaggeration. I mean, you can look at the inspection sticker, it's 07. This car has been sitting for, you know, a very long time, and I was starting it for the last, you know, up until probably 10 years ago, and then since then I just let it sit. I'm really impressed with the way that this thing cranked this thing over. It definitely cranked it over fast enough, probably faster than normal. Cranked it over fast enough and long enough for sure to start it if I would have had that distributor wire plugged in. So that's not an issue at all. So there's probably, what, two or three times of trying to start it, and it's down to 83%. So I'm gonna go ahead, unhook this, and we're gonna see what kind of voltage is reading just on the battery right now. I think before it was, what, 0.6 volts or something like that. And I really like that that has that digital display there. I mean, that alone is one of the really great features about this thing. And it shut off. So it does have an automatic shut off, by the way. It will shut off, and these cables aren't even really hot. But that digital display there is one thing I really like, because even while you're charging it, you know exactly where it's at. And when it's discharging, you know exactly where it's at. So you don't have to rely on some kind of bar system or flashing lights or anything like that. You just look at it and you know exactly what it's at all the time. So what we're going to do now is test the battery real quick and see what kind of voltage we have in the battery. And it's probably going to be almost nothing again, like I said, because, yeah, 1.5 volts. So it did recharge the battery slightly, because it was at 0.6, I believe, before. So like I said, that battery is pretty much shot. It's been sitting here dead for a long time. All right, guys, so now you can see the tires are pretty flat from sitting. So what I'm going to do is check the pressure in this tire real quick. And it's at 8.8 psi. This is a nice little digital gauge that you can purchase from Amazon. I'll put links below. I've had really good luck with this. It's really cheap and really good gauge. I'll put a link below to this as well in the description. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the adapter in that converts that thing to a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this flap down here, and you can see it has the 12-volt adapter plug, a USB port, and also a USB-C port, which is how you charge it. Now, this is an in or out port, so you could use this to charge your devices as well too if they're USB-C. But we're going to plug this directly into here, and this will give me a 12-volt cigarette lighter outlet. And we're going to go ahead and air the tire up with this Kenson tire inflator that I've had for many years now. This compressor is rated at 14 amps, and that jump pack is rated at this DC port for 150 watts, I believe, which is around 12.5 amps. So we're going to see how it runs this 14 amp compressor. I don't know how accurate that 14 amp reading is, but basically, I'm going to go ahead and plug this in here, screw it on my tire here, and kick this thing on and see how far it draws that battery pack down when this thing's running. Turn the unit on, and you can see there's power now. So we're going to go ahead, turn it on, and see how long it takes to air this tire up. And you can see there's a little battery thing there with an arrow pointing out, meaning that it's giving it power, and it's inflating the tire pretty well with that Kenson, or however you say it, little portable pump. And one thing I want to note, guys, is when you're using this to either recharge your phone or iPads, or using a compressor like this, you see that the screen dimmed on the jump starter. Now, that's a nice feature because it reduces the usage of the battery power instead of keeping that screen bright while you're using the auxiliary ports. And it automatically has a turn off feature too, so once it senses that it's not drawing any power, the unit will automatically shut down. So we're 2 minutes in, and we're almost at 30 pounds. So it added 20 pounds of pressure to that tire in about a little over 2 minutes. And I believe it was, what, 84%? down to 77%. So it's working like a champ. We'll shut it off at 3 minutes here. All right, so 3 minutes, dropped it down about 8 or 9% battery life, and it went from 9 pounds up to 30 pounds. It's still at about 30. Yeah, about 31 pounds. So that's pretty good. About 3 minutes of usage, and it dropped it about, like I said, 8 to 9% on battery life, but it ran it perfectly. On to the next test. All right, now another thing you can plug into the 12 volt DC port is a spotlight. Now this is an old school spotlight. I've probably had it for 25, 30 years or so. Not LED, just regular halogen bulb. But this thing runs it good. However, it probably would drain that pack a little bit fast compared to the newer LEDs, but you can see that it's a nice, good option for auxiliary lighting. And as soon as you shut it off, you can see how that display disappears for power out, and turn it on, and now it's showing that it's giving power out. Now, one thing I really like about this little jump pack is that you could carry it around with you on a side-by-side or use it to jump start your mower. You can get stuck on these things out in the middle of the woods for a dead battery and be stranded, but with one of those things, you just clip that thing on the battery, fire it up, and it will get you out of the woods safely. Or you can use it on your lawnmower in the summertime. If your battery goes dead on that, a lot of times after a full year sitting in winter, if you don't keep battery tenders on, your batteries are always dead in your mowers. And you can also use it to jump start your generators in the winter time as well, if your battery is low and slow cranking, if you have electric start on your generators. All right, everyone, so I'm going to connect this to my truck battery. Now, my truck battery has plenty of voltage in it. It's a good battery, and I'm going to show you how it comes on automatically and goes into the ready status as soon as you connect it. So that's really a nice feature, that it automatically does not give power until it is connected. You can see I unhooked it, and it goes off of ready, which means these are not getting power. Clamp it back on, and it's in the ready status. So now these are getting power. Really nice safety feature. Now, another nice feature about this thing is it has an over polarity protection, which means you can't hook it up backwards. It won't come on if you do so. Short circuit protection, reverse charge protection, all kind of protections built into this thing. And one really cool feature that I've never seen in many other jump packs, or any, to be honest, that I've ever seen, is it has a high-low temperature protection. Even down into -40, they market this thing to be able to work, and it supposedly has a built-in temperature thing where it will automatically heat the pack up and get it ready to jump start your vehicle. Now, I was not able to test that anyway. I did put it in the freezer for a while and took it out to kind of see what it would do. Really hard. My freezer didn't get down to that temperature, so I'm not sure what temperature that kicks into or anything, but that if it does work, that is a pretty cool feature of this thing. Now, there is one thing that I did not like about my review, testing out and checking out this thing, is in the manual that they give you, it does say that it comes with a 24-month warranty. However, I did try to contact the telephone number that is in the manual, and also sent the email address that was provided in an email, and have not heard a response from the email. And the telephone number went to a random guy that said I had the wrong number, and I verified the phone number with him, and he said he didn't know why his number was in the book, but I did contact the company, and they said that being that this was in pre-production, that the email was not being monitored yet because they're not being produced and shipped out, which makes perfect sense. However, the phone number, I don't know what the situation with the phone number is. Hopefully they can get that straightened out and actually put a correct phone number in the manual whenever they do ship. So I'm not quite sure how you would go about making a claim if you had to file a claim for the warranty. All right, guys, so just to recap, what I think sets this jump pack off versus some other brands is the super fast recharge rate. It's excellent. It recharges super fast. Really good build quality, seems very durable. And what I really like about this one versus some of the original style jump packs is that it's very compact. You can see between these two older ones that I have that this one's a peak amp of 1,000 cranking amps. This one's even less. This has a peak amp of 2,000 amps, and it is way smaller, so very easy to carry around in your vehicle or on your quad side by side. Whatever you need to carry it on with you, it's going to be super compact and easy to carry. However, like I said, the only downfall that I've seen is that they do not include a carry case, but you can, like I said, carry it in the original box that it comes in. And I got to tell you, I was super impressed with that test on the Mustang that's been sitting for about 10 years. I was really impressed. I did not think it was going to crank over that 5.0 engine like it did for as long as it did and as fast as it did. So I hope you guys found this video helpful and enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you click that like button and that subscribe and stick around, and I will see you guys definitely on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.